I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes. Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
The news that Bob Saget died from a massive head injury is hitting home for this stand-up comic. 51-year-old Heather McDonald was performing for a sold-out crowd when she suddenly became dizzy.
So nice, so nice.
You can hear the sickening thud as her head hits the floor.
911.
Her injuries were eerily similar to Saget's: a fractured skull, brain bleed, even black eyes. The big difference, she was taken to the ER.
I have a fracture in my skull and I had some bleeding on the brain, and the trauma for the back of the brain will oftentimes cause two black eyes.
Having suffered similar injuries here, do you think Bob Saget would have lived if he wasn't alone in his hotel room?
If Bob had gone to the hospital, I think he would have lived.
How Bob Saget suffered that one fatal blow to the back of his head remains a mystery. The medical examiner says it was due to a fall backwards. But today, there's a new theory emerging. As Bob Saget returned to his hotel at 2:17 in the morning, it's possible he could have banged his head on the frame of his car or on the lid of his trunk. After all, Bob Saget was 6'5", so you could see how he could hit his head in such a way. There are also several places in his hotel room where he might have struck his head in a slip and fall: a marble table, a wooden desk, shower fittings, or the tile floor. Some experts are questioning the autopsy findings today.
There is no hotel room I've ever stayed in that would allow for a fall significant enough to cause this kind of head injury. This is the kind of injury that might occur from a traffic accident, might occur from an assault, might occur from a fall down a flight of stairs.
Head trauma specialist Dr. Robert Duarte studied the autopsy report. This wasn't just a little bump on the head, right?
Exactly. There were fractures in the base of the skull, in the occipital region, the temporal region. There was also fractures in the front, above the eye, on both sides of the skull.
So even though we're hearing he hit his head on the back of his head, it caused fractures in 3 places, even the front.
Exactly.
The police investigation is now closed, so the mystery may never be solved.
She's doing better.
Comedian Heather McDonald is out of a Valley hospital tonight after she collapsed over the weekend during a show at the Tempe Improv.
She spoke with Team 12's Colleen Sikora today about the frightening tumble. And Colleen, how is she doing? She's doing better. Heather McDonald says she stayed at St. Joseph's Hospital over the weekend as they ran tests to figure out what happened here Saturday night at the Tempe Improv. She says they don't really know why she collapsed 3 minutes into her act. In front of Saturday night's crowd.
I love the crowd there, and I was just like excited to do it.
Celebrity comedian Heather McDonald ready to deliver an evening of material at Tempe Improv.
When it happened, I just couldn't believe it.
Just a few jokes in.
I was starting to feel like Disney weird, and I was like, wow, this better pass soon. I don't know how I'm going to power through this hour and 10 minutes of material. And that's kind of the last thing I remember.
McDonald says she was talking about how she's vaccinated against COVID and has the booster and her flu shot.
Because I'm impressed that like my whole card is filled up and like, and I got the shingle shot. And I said, and I've never had COVID. So clearly Jesus loves me the most. And then I went, and then I fell over.
She says it wasn't alcohol or COVID. Her management saying she suffered a skull fracture in the fall.
I'm really, just recovering from hitting the back of my head really hard because I just went like timber.
But even at St. Joseph's,
I did come out to Cardi B's WAP and I did like a booty drop. And doctor said, like, did you go down and get up really fast? And I'm like, actually, I kind of did. I don't know,
As McDonald says, doctors found no specific reason why she collapsed.
Like throughout the night of being in the ICU, I kept thinking, oh, and I don't get to tell him this, and I don't get to tell him that. And I was so excited to do this.
It's the shows she wanted to perform that she was thinking about.
Never in my life would I think that something like that would happen on stage ever.
McDonald says she's hoping to reschedule those canceled shows and come back here to perform. We're in Tempe. Colleen Sikora, 12 News.
Colleen, thanks.